Alright guys, welcome back to another video. In this video we're going to be doing more web CTF challenges on PicoCTF. In my previous two videos we did the last 6 challenges, so web decode, unminify, intro to burp, bookmarklet, local authority, and inspect HTML. Now we're going to be doing the includes, cookies, and scavenger hunt. So yeah, let's get started. Alright, so the description says, can you get the flag? Additional details will be available after launching your challenge instance. Okay, so let's just launch it. And it says go to this website and see what you can discover. So let's just access the website. Yeah. I keep forgetting. Let me just configure the proxy again. Just turn it off. Use the system proxy settings because I used burp suite apparently before and I forgot to change it back. Alright, so let's just go back to the website. It says on includes many programming languages and other computer files have a directive, often called include, sometimes copy or import, that causes the contents of a second file to be inserted into the original file. These included files are called copybooks or header files. They are often used to define the physical layout of program data, pieces of procedural code, and or forward declarations while promoting encapsulation and the reuse of code. Okay, so let me just reread that again, see if that gives us any hints. Now just talk about imports, okay. Okay, yeah, whatever. Okay, so it says source Wikipedia on include directive. Okay, so let's just look at the source code. Got the style sheet, and then we have this script over here. So if I go back, we have this say hello button. Okay, so here's a button. Let me just zoom in a bit so you guys can see. So we have this button over here. Okay, this controls the say hello button, which is, you can see the hello. That's what this corresponds to. And it says that the type is a button. Okay, and on click, so once I click that button, we run the greetings function. Now I'm gonna assume it's implemented in this scripts.js file. So if I just click it, it says function greetings. Yeah, so this is the code that's gonna run when we press the say hello button, and it's gonna alert and says this code is in a separate file. And then we have this, which just looks like a part of the flag. So we're just gonna copy that. Let me just copy, put it into a note, because it looks like this challenge is gonna make us. It's gonna make us find the pieces separately. So let's just press the button here. This code is in a separate file. Yeah. All right, so we did that. Just go back here. Let's look at the style sheet. All right, so anyways, we found the first part of the flag. But one thing to note, if I just add this here, that's the front part. One thing to note is we found the last part in the style.css file. So this is the CSS file that's being used to style the page. Okay, that's what CSS files are doing in HTML files. So let's just copy that. I don't think I'm missing any piece. I can just try it. I'll just copy this. Go back here, paste it in here, submit, and that's the challenge. So let's go to the next one. It says cookies. All right, sorry about that, guys. There's a bit of a disruption, but we're back at it. We have the cookies challenge. It says the description says, "Who doesn't love cookies? Try to figure out the best one." So we're just gonna visit this link, and yeah. So I already attempted this challenge, which is why we're getting this. Let me just clear out the let me just clear the cache and the cookies here. Quick things, won't take too long. Boom, boom. So now we can restart from scratch and actually see the page. So we have this generic page. It says cookies at the top. Then it says we have a home, which doesn't do anything. Just reload the page. Then it says, "Welcome to my cookie search page. See how much I like different kinds of cookies." And then over here, we can type in the name of a cookie and press search. And then what ends up happening is that if that name of the cookie um, it's actually a cookie that exists on the server, then we're going to get a valid a message that says that's actually a cookie, and then we're going to get a text displayed here. If it's not, then we're going to get um, a message here saying that that cookie is basically incorrect. Quick demonstration: if I make a random string, as you can see, I've done it a couple of times before. Press search. It says that doesn't appear to be a valid cookie. If I do snickerdoodle, which is again one put here by default, so snickerdoodle. Okay, I'm gonna press search. It's gonna say that is a cookie, not very special though. Again, implying that there's a cookie here that is special. That's the one that has a flag, and then it's gonna basically write this message which says, "I love snickerdoodle cookies." Right? Quick thing over here. Look at the source code of the page. If we just look at this. Yeah, so we just get we're looking at the page that has a success message. Let's try to get the original page. If I go to view page source, you can see here it's a form. When we type something in, it sends a post request. Again, see, we have a post request sent to the search file on the server. Okay. To better visualize this, again, the post request is sent to this search file on the server when we press the search button. All right, that's one thing to keep in mind. Obviously, it's better to visualize this using a proxy like burp suite, which I'm going to do right now. So let me just go and switch and turn on connect my browser to a proxy. So basically, what's going to end up happening is, like we did in our previous videos, all the requests made from this browser are going to go through burp suite. So we can look at the traffic, analyze the traffic, and do all sorts of fun stuff. So let's just let burp suite boot up, and we're gonna continue from there. All right, so burp suite is now working. Oh, what's going on here? I pressed it twice, didn't I? Let me just close this. Oh, okay, never mind, I didn't. All right, so let's just turn the intercept on, then the browser, and then see what happens when we type in, let's say, I was about to say snickerdoodle. I'm gonna press search. Okay, so again, just like this, we saw in the source code, a post request is made to the search file on the server. Then we see that we have a cookie with a name attribute set to 0, and we're sending this data, which is the last line, which is basically what we typed into this search the search bar, which is basically this snickerdoodle. If we forward that, we're making a get request to check. Okay, so I'm assuming this is actually where we check for what we searched. But as you can see here, we're not sending. This is a get request. We're not sending any data. We're not sending the name of the cookie that we sent. But what's going to the server is the cookie that has this name attribute, and this name attribute is set to 0. Okay, so it's gonna somehow use this, again, from what I believe. It's gonna somehow use this 0 value set for the name attribute of this cookie, and it's going to use that to determine if we're successful. So if the cookie actually exists. So it does it based off of the number, and I'm going to show that in a second. So if I just forward this, it gives us a success. Let me just go back. Now if I say something like let's do something wrong, press search. Again, we're sending the name over. Okay. If I just forward this, and again, this cookie, it seems like we already have one. So once we first come to this link, it gives us this cookie. But anyways, what we're sending to the search file on the server is this data over here, which is this name attribute that has this stuff inside of it. If I forward, as you can see now, the name attribute of this cookie that we're sending to the slash, so this is not going to check anymore because it's apparently wrong. We have a -1. So if I forward that again, it doesn't work. So it looks like -1 is not -1. If we send -1 to, if we get something wrong, we send the name attribute. Name attribute is -1, and we get an error message. So let's do it again with snickerdoodle. Press search. Again, we're sending. So notice how the cookie attribute changed. So I think this, we got a -1 because our last search was false. So the name attribute for the cookie that we have was set to -1. And we're sending the snickerdoodle again to the server. If I forward that, now it says get check instead of 0. What happens if I say 2? We actually get something. So the cookie attribute, no, the cookie that we sent to the check file on the server, okay, is allowed us to get this this oatmeal cookie, because the oatmeal raisin cookie apparently corresponds to a cookie with a name attribute set to 2. So we can just do this over and over. So let me just do that. Now press search. Again, we got the name is 0. Could be a snickerdoodle. If I just forward that, it goes 0. If I say, let's say 17, we got wafer cookies. I can just do it again. Just search. For that, we send a snickerdoodle attribute, not snickerdoodle, the data we typed in, we send it over to the original post search. We make a post request to the search file, and then the server makes a get request to the check file, and it sends the cookies. So if I just change this now to 18, for example, and just forward, we get the flag. And this one seemed a bit confusing. Obviously, I already knew it was 18 because I already did this challenge. But let's just submit this flag. I got signed out. Why? Once I submit this, I'm gonna make a quick recap of what we did. Right. So again, why did it change everything? That's annoying. Easy web exploitation, and we were at cookies. So again, it was quite straightforward. We visited the link. So I just go here. Verb Susan on. And just clear. Just gonna do a quick recap so we know what we're doing. Clear now. Yep. Close. Refresh. So basically, what we did is we visited the link. Whatever we type in, if we type in something wrong, we get an error message. If we type in something right, it says that we got the right cookie. And when we get the right cookie, it sends a message associated with that cookie, like I love, then the cookie name. So, and then we found out that if we type in something in here and we press search, it sends a post request to the search file on the server. And then that makes a get request to a check file that basically checks the value for the name attribute of the cookie that's sent to the check file. And then based off of that number, it determines if there's a cookie for that. And if it does, it's just going to send back the success, like when we did with Snickerdoodle, that basically says, yes, we got the right cookie. And it says, I love Snickerdoodle cookies. Now it says not very special, though, because we didn't get the one with the flag. But we know that the one with the flag has is when we send a cookie to the check file on the server that has a name attribute of 18, right? So that's basically how it works. Again, I know it's very confusing. If you have any questions, you can you can write in the comments and I'll try to explain it better. But that's basically how this challenge is completed. So let's continue. Why does it keep signing? Okay, that's because I was clearing the cache. Now I realize why that's happening. So just go here. There we go. And then now we're going to do the scavenger hunt challenge. So now it says the description, there's some interesting information hidden around this site, and then we have the link and it says, can you find it? Again, remember, for PicoCTF, if you have any questions, you can basically just hit the link and it's going to give you a hint for the challenge, right? So that's one thing you could do if you ever have hard time doing any challenge. So let's just visit the link and see what we find. It said just some boring HTML. I can just look at the page here, source code. Here's, okay, we already have the first part. So here's the first part of the flag. I just copy this. We can get rid of this previous one, put it in here. Just close this now. If we press how, okay, so that should not do that. Which is what I use these to make this site: HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Okay. That doesn't really. Let's just look at the files that that are used in this HTML page. There's a source script here called myjs.js. Okay, if I just look into that, doesn't it says, wait, how can I keep Google from indexing my website? Okay, so basically the file that they want us to look for is the robots.txt file, because if you don't know already, you can use this file to stop certain pages from being indexed by web crawlers. So that's what that means. If I press enter on that, it says disallow index.html, the part 3. Okay, so we got part 3 of the flag. So we didn't get part 2 right now. So we just go up here. Let's do this. Leave it for part 2. But then it says, I think this is an Apache server. Can you access the next flag? Okay, before we do that, let's try and find 2. If we go to view page source, there's another file called mycss.css. And there we go, we have part 2. So far, so good. Nothing too challenging. And then we want part 4. And then what did it say again in part 4? Let's just go to robots.txt. It says, I think this is an Apache server. Can you access the next flag? Well, again, to be honest, when I did this challenge the first time, I didn't know what they were referring to, but there is a, I think, what was it called? I can't remember the file name. I think it was that, yeah, it's a DS store. I think that's what it's called. But this was the last part, my bad. Yeah, there was a step before this. And if I go back here, it says, I think this is an Apache server. Can you access the next flag? So the next flag, so basically we have to use the fact that this is an Apache server. So that should be significant. As you can see, the access word is capitalized. Maybe that's relevant. Access, no. Uh, Let me think about this. Is it I think it was a .access file. I can't fully remember. There was a file like that on I think it was called .ht access. Yeah, so that was the name. So .ht access is basically a very famous file on Apache systems. So that's basically what they wanted us to do. So yeah, so I didn't even me myself, I didn't really know this. I had to look this up. So yeah, so that was how you can get part 4. Part 4, we go in here, and then this part over here when it says I love making websites on Mac, I can store a lot of information. So again, store here is capitalized. This is the part where I skipped a step. So there is a file on Mac systems that's called a DS store, right? And it's you can it's used for storage, right? So that's what we got the last part when we said .ds store, and then we got part 5. So that's basically the challenge. Again, there's nothing significant. The only thing that caused issues here is figuring out the file they wanted us to find when they said it's a Apache server that's being used, and when they said something about storage and max, which is the ds store file. So that's basically the solution to that challenge. That's definitely not what we wanted to type. It's this whole thing over here. Just gonna copy that. Let's submit, and that's basically. Actually, we got it wrong. What happened? There has an empty space. Yeah, so that's basically the 3 challenges we did. We completed includes, cookies, and scavenger hunts. Again, these were scavenger hunt. The only issue, like I mentioned, was figuring out how that server using Apache. When we knew that the server is using Apache, was using Apache, figuring out the name of the file, which again, that's all we had to do, and we had to also find out the relevance of mentioning a Mac and something that's used to store things on a Mac, which was the .ds store, right? And it was related to web servers. So that was the challenge for this one. For the cookies, again, we just went through the whole thing. Again, I'm not gonna go through the whole thing. It was a long process. But again, if you guys like this video, leave a like, write a comment if you have any questions on any of these challenges, and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And have a good day.